Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Channel 6 coverage of the 1994 International Day Parade through downtown Port Huron. I'm Mike Mullins. Later on, we'll be joined by St. Clair County Sheriff Dan Lane, and we'll also be checking in with Larry West momentarily to find out a little bit more of what's going on with the parade. But first of all, as we look down the parade route, we can see that we are underway at certain points along the parade route. Let's take a look at the weather. First of all, we have a perfect night for the 1994 International Day Parade. Temperature probably in the 60 to 65 degree range. A slight breeze out of the northeast. It's not too uncomfortable, it's not too cool, and it's not too warm. We have a perfect night for the International Day Parade. Taking a look at our roster, we will have in the vicinity of 75 or 76 different units involved with this year's parade. And we're going to bring them all to you right here on Channel 6 as we thank you for joining us. Hopefully those who are joining us for this broadcast were indeed a part of the crew that was in downtown Port Huron that was on hand to enjoy the 1994 International Day Parade through downtown Port Huron. International, of course, because we have groups from all over the area. Many that come from Canada to be a part of the parade. In addition to the local police enforcement, we have many come across from Sarnia to also help out with the crowd control for the 1994 International Day Parade. The parade itself is beginning in the vicinity, the south end at Pine and Military, is moving north through the downtown area. We are at the northernmost point at Huron and Glenwood. The parade will take a turn in front of us and head west towards St. Clair County Community College, where it will disband. We have a good crowd on hand. As we mentioned, weather-wise, it couldn't be any better. It is perfect for the 1994 International Day Parade. We mentioned right off the bat that we will be joined later on by St. Clair County Sheriff Dan Lane, but a part of our coverage right now on Channel 6 is Larry West. And let's check in right now with Larry and see how everything is his spot. Larry?
Welcome to the streets of Port Huron. As you see, we have a lovely day for parade. Lots of people around. I can see behind me the parade is coming up the avenue. I'm Larry West, and I'll be bringing you the in-street interviews. There's a lot of nice people to meet today. Some interesting things to tell you about the parade. So as the parade comes up the street, we'll go back to Mike.
Okay, Larry, thank you very much. And as we take a look at the parade route, we see that indeed we are definitely underway. And we should mention, too, we have 75 different units as a part of our parade coverage. We do have a schedule ahead of time, but for those who know how things work as far as putting the parade together, it doesn't always go together exactly as planned. What will happen is, down at the parade route, somebody may be ready to go and somebody else isn't ready to go. The group that's ready, they'll say, get out there. And, of course, the parade people try to keep the parade moving along as best as possible, and that's exactly what's going to be happening. Leading off the parade this year, and I understand their performance this afternoon, their concert at McMorran was completely filled, and that's good to hear. The United States Marine Corps 4th Marine Aircraft Wing Band. It's a unique start to this year's Blue Water Festival International Day Parade. For the first time, a band leads the event, and not just any band. It's the 4th Marine Aircraft Wing Band, which was established in 1978. The band is composed of active duty Marines stationed at the Naval Support Activity in New Orleans, Louisiana. In addition to performing for military ceremonies, the band is often called upon to provide various public relations events, such as the Blue Water Festival. And as the band comes into view, let's enjoy the USMC United States Marine Corps 4th Marine Aircraft Wing Band. United States Marine Corps 4th Marine Aircraft Wing Band. And Marching as a part of the group, the former principal at the Garfield School, Tiny Reneker. Right behind the band, we have the Michigan Waterways Council of Girl Scouts, the Mackinac Island group, carrying the colors and parading before the crowd assembled here in downtown Port Huron. The international flags carried by representatives of the Michigan Waterways Council, Mackinac Island Honor Scout Troop. This select group, representing Girl Scouts from St. Clair and Sanilac County, annually spends several days in August at Mackinac Island, raising and lowering official flags and acting as volunteer tour guides. And right behind the Girl Scouts, we have the police cars, being led by a member of the Port Huron Police Department. Notice right back in behind them is the Dare car, which I believe is up from the city of Detroit. Always a big favorite, especially with the younger ones, with the sirens blaring. Dare car from the city of Port Huron, excuse me. And followed by a couple of the sheriff vehicles, Marysville Police Department, State Police on the motorcycles. We're joined this year for the 1994 International Day Parade. The governor of Michigan will be a part of the parade, and was to be in this part of the parade, but again, as we said, as the parade goes together, it's who's ever ready goes next. So we've got the group on horseback coming through right now. The Michigan 22nd Infantry Regiment, a local regiment in history with a company being raised for both St. Clair and Sanilac counties. And there's our co-host when he gets off the horse. A little bit more about the infantry regiment, and we'll get to more. Right behind them, we've got the antique cars. Sheriff Dan Lane leading the horse group through to the intersection of Huron and Glenwood. Take a look now at the cars. They wait for some cleanup work in front of them. The antique cars, a selection of antique cars, many of which were seen during this past weekend's antique car parade and show. Included in the lineup is an antique sign for the Dome, which a reunion of old-time rock and roll lovers is set for the second Saturday of the Blue Water Festival Week, which of course is in conjunction this year with the start of the Port Huron to Mackinac race. Dome reunion always the second Saturday during Blue Water Festival Week. But as the cars pass by, let's check in with Larry West right now and see what's going on with Larry.
Hi, this is Larry West, and I found a couple of friends here in the crowd. This is Patrick and Zach. They came all the way from Kimball Township into Port Huron to see the parade. How you guys doing today? We're enjoying the parade? What's your favorite part?
Play cow.
How about you?
The police motorcycles.
You really like the motorcycles, huh? Well, we're having fun here in the streets of Port Huron. Let's go back to Mike.
Thanks, Larry. Indeed, we are having fun as the old cars pass our spot along the parade route. As we mentioned at the start, we're at the northernmost point of the International Day Parade. The parade turning right in front of us, heading over towards St. Clair County Community College, where the parade disbands. As the old cars go by, our congratulations to Ed Weichler and all those involved with putting on this year's Old Car Weekend. What a great event it was, watching all the old cars Friday night and then getting a first-hand look on Saturday. An event that gets bigger and bigger each year with the Blue Water Festival. I try to tell you exactly what year each car was, but I know I'd mess it up, so you take a look at them and enjoy them yourself. See, I know it's a Mustang, but I'm not going to even attempt what year. The 1994 International Day Parade underway through downtown Port Huron as the antique cars continue rolling past our broadcast spot. As the cars go by, we'll remind you that you can go back to school. Adult education is offered through the Port Huron Area School District. All you have to do is call 984-6552 for further information. Mike Mullins along with Larry West, and a little bit later on we'll be joined by St. Clair County Sheriff Dan Lane as we continue Channel 6 coverage of the International Day Parade. A total of 75 units making up this year's parade. Both the Port Huron Northern and Port Huron High Big Red bands will be seen during the course of the parade. CC Ryder passing us right now. More of the antique cars. And I think we referred to the gentleman on the horses as the infantry regiment. That is wrong. The infantry regiment is coming up right now behind the antique cars. Here's the Dome Reunion sign reminding everyone that the big Dome Reunion is coming up Saturday, July 16th at McMorran Place. And if you missed it, as you watch it, make plans to join them next year. Now we've got the antique regiment, the 22nd Infantry Regiment, a local regiment in history with the company being raised from both St. Clair and Sanilac counties. The veteran reenactors work closely with local schools, Boy Scouts, and museums. The 9-member color guard features clothing of the Civil War era. And already I noticed that Governor Engler, who was supposed to be fourth in line, has not joined us as of yet. Right behind the regiment, we have Sons, Save Our Neighborhoods and Streets, the first competitive float of the parade. It is entered from Port Huron. The 20-foot-long unit features 10 kids with the theme, Because the Father Cares, with the theme song, Be an Example. We should mention, too, over the last few years, the parade has been such that there is a theme, and the overall theme for this year's parade is celebration. You will see some of the floats do not necessarily reflect the celebration theme because they are coming from other parades or other festivals. But overall, the theme is celebration. The train moving through the intersection of Huron and Glenwood now, where we are broadcasting here on Channel 6. It's the Fort Trott Group. This entry features the new Fort Trott Railroad engine, which is powered by a 6-cylinder Chevrolet engine. The group in back waving to those who are watching the parade. The engine will be used to take campers around the grounds at the business Clyde Township location in the 6,000 block of Lapeer Avenue. Over 450 man-hours of work went into building the replica by employees of Hess Fabrication. And we see the young ladies now with the flags. It's the St. William Marching Crusaders. The girls are ranging in age from 12 to 17. Right behind the St. William Marching Crusaders, we have the St. Clair Mothers of Twins Club. This group's celebration is of twins. Their non-competitive float has onboard sets of twin children with Twin Mother of the Year.
99.9 the Fox FM and today's hot new country 1110 CKTY, both of Sarnia.
We mentioned the International Day Parade, part of the international feature. The two of the radio stations from Sarnia participating, the Fox 99.9 FM and CKTY. Miss Sarnia right behind the Fox band, waving to the crowd. And right behind the Queen, we've got the group of motorcyclists. These are the Harley Owners Group, number 2335. About a dozen motorcycles make up this entry. Port Huron chapter of Harley Owners Group number 2335, moving through our intersection now. Next up, we've got St. Clair County Community College. You know, you can still catch the bus even after high school. The St. Clair County Community College bus, that is. This entry from SC4 shows off their community and business services vehicle. And maybe you can tell by the sign, we've got some alumni marching and some of the different areas of the college represented. As St. Clair County Community College moves by our broadcast spot here on Channel 6. And as the group moves by, let's check in again with Larry West. Larry?
Hi, we're back in the streets with Shanna. She's 8 years old. She's from Port Huron, down here with her family, right, Shanna? And what's your favorite part of the parade today?
When the cars went by.
When the cars went by? Have you been to a lot of parades this year?
Yes.
That seems to be the story here on the streets in Port Huron. Let's go back to Mike for more parade.
And a lot more parade coming up, Larry. A total of 75 units making up this year's 1994 International Day Parade through downtown Port Huron. Always a big event, and you can tell just by taking a look at the crowd, and the weatherman has cooperated beautifully. Another of the queens passing before the cameras right now, the Peach Festival of Romeo, which is held traditionally over the Labor Day weekend, and they'd like to invite everyone to come on out. Michelle Perini, the 1994 Michigan Peach Festival Queen. On the back of a vintage Chevrolet convertible. I'm going to guess and say 62 or 63. As you can see now, the governor of Michigan is moving up the parade route. Kind of staying to the middle and not shaking anybody's hands right now. Governor John Engler. He's not traveling by plane and not traveling by Oldsmobile. He is walking the entire route, which, as we mentioned, if you've just joined us, the parade is actually getting underway at Pine and Military, moving all the way up, making a turn right at our location, going over to St. Clair County Community College, where it is disbanding. Governor Engler shaking hands with some of those who are holding Engler signs. And I see that the governor is making his way over to Larry West, and he's all set to go. Why don't we switch over to Larry?
How are we doing,
governor.
folks? We're back in the streets of Port Huron with an honored guest, Governor John Engler. Yeah, but keep moving, keep moving. How are we enjoying the parade today?
Parade's going great. What a great day to be in Port Huron. I'll tell you, Mueller Brass, groundbreaking, and then a spectacular weather and great parade.
We're glad to have you. Your truck's leaving.
One thing you can't do is hold up the governor too long. Right behind the governor, the 1st Michigan Colonial Fife and Drum Corps. The 1st Michigan Colonial Fife and Drum Corps, the award-winning group of over 30 members, are outfitted in replica uniforms and clothing worn by their counterparts in 18th century America. The instruments are handcrafted. The group in 1992 performed for Prince Andrew at the Royal Tournament in London, England. Next up, we've got the group from Algonac, the Algonac Pickerel Festival, which is traditionally held over the 4th of July holiday. And the group is up here, the Queen and her court, at the front of the River Queen 2, waving to the crowd. Next up, following the Algonac Lions Pickerel Tournament, we have the Rotary Club of Port Huron North. Various local Rotary projects are depicted on this float, including the group's golf tournament, the Haunted House, Help with the Salvation Army, and the Old Car Weekend. They're one of the sponsors. Celebrating 89 years of service. Right behind the Rotary Club of Port Huron North, a reminder that the Rubber Ducky Race is coming up on Sunday, July 17th in Sarnia Bay. And who else would you have to have in a car that was in the parade this past weekend and also on display? There's a rubber ducky, known as Duncan. Waving to the crowd. I'm not sure if I'd bet on that rubber ducky right there. The 1994 International Day Parade continuing through downtown Port Huron. Thank you for joining us here on Channel 6. A little bit later on, we'll be joined by Larry West. Larry West is with us, and Dan Lane, St. Clair County Sheriff, will also be joining us. Next up, we've got the Port Huron Phoenix group. It's the Pom Pom and Dance Drill team. The name kind of says it all for these 13 to 15-year-old girls who are doing their thing through downtown Port Huron. Now, this group was originally the Chippewa Bluebirds in 1992, but became community-based. Several trophies have been earned in the group state and regional competition, and our congratulations to them. Now they're the local radio stations. Brian Harper moving by right now from Q Country 107, WSAQ. And I see Larry West is going to try to corral him, and we'll see if we can check in with Larry in just a moment. I think he's all set to go, so let's check in with Larry West and Brian Harper. Larry?
Never amazed what you might find in the streets of Port Huron. Brian Harper, SAQ, how you doing?
Very good, Larry. Thank you very much.
Where'd you find this ride?
Well, actually, the boss found this ride for us. Works out real well.
One
He
of the
pays
new
us to drive it.
A new incentive program, huh? Thanks a lot for stopping by. He's on his way.
Thanks.
The governor went that way. Back to Mike up in the booth.
Thanks, Larry. The Griswold Street Baptist Church from Port Huron moving by right now. The Awana Club's Griswold Street Baptist Church Civic Float. The entry featuring kids riding and holding flags around a turning globe. Awana clubs are all over the world celebrating a mission to reach the children. Did you know that the CPHS 6 Community Billboard is here for you? Local nonprofit organizations can submit information for airing on Channel 6. For more information, just call 984-6621. That number again is 984-6621. The 1994 coverage of the Blue Water Festival International Day Parade through downtown Port Huron under ideal weather conditions. A little bit of a northeasterly breeze. Temperature, as we said at the start, in the vicinity of 60 to 65. And a great crowd on hand, and we thank you for joining us as well. And I cannot read their sign. The Judges Award. Okay, there we go. So this is one of the award-winning floats. That's one thing that we haven't mentioned up to this point. All of the floats as they move through the area are in competition. So this is the Judges Award, the Kerwood Festival from Owasso, Michigan. First full weekend in June, again featuring the Queen and her court. Reminding everyone that the Kerwood Festival is the first full weekend in June. And I'm going to look up the information here and pass along a little bit more information about the Kerwood Festival. The city along Old M21 features their Queen and her court for this year. The Owasso Kerwood Festival is named after James Kerwood, an author known for his work in conservation. The recent movie, The Bear, was adapted from one of his works. Kerwood lived and wrote in Owasso in a castle he had built there. The float is a replica of the castle. The float has won 40 awards in the 7 years that it has been in parades. And our thanks to the group from Owasso for joining us. Well, as you can tell, we have one of the pipe bands moving into view now. And as they do, we'll enjoy the group, the Petroleum Legion Pipe Band from Corunna, Ontario, and also enjoy the music. And of course, the one nice thing about being able to watch the groups as they go by is I don't have to try to describe the things that they're wearing, as I have had in past years. As the Petrolia Legion Pipe Band moves through the area, right behind them, they're followed by the Miller Maytag repairman. But we're joined by the St. Clair County Sheriff Dan Lane, who was a part of the parade before and is now joining us to help us with our coverage. Dan, welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here. It was a long walk back, but I got it. I made it. How many units did I miss, Mike?
Oh, you did well. As far as your perspective, being in the parade, going up the parade route, what kind of crowd have we got
Oh,
today?
great crowd. People are just so friendly. Great weather. Great weather. Just a tremendous crowd. I'm saying there's probably 5,000-6,000 people between us and the beginning of the parade right now.
Great. I see they had to pull the the Maytag repairman down so he could get through the intersection.
He had to duck for the wire.
Miller Maytag Appliance Center, the local float entry proves that the Miller Maytag repairman can keep busy, at least when it comes to floats. The Maytag repairman is back up again, followed behind by the group sponsored by Congressman David Bonnier. It has become a traditional entry in the Blue Water Festival International Day Parade, the 16-foot tall helium balloon, which is in the shape of a pine tree. Dan, as we went on the air, I tried to explain to people what it's like down at the beginning of the parade route, where though we may have an order, it doesn't exactly fall into place that way.
Yeah, sometimes there's a lot of coordination that has to be done by the parade committee itself, Mike. You talk about people doing their job and trying to get everybody in line in a 2 or 3 block staging area. That's really a tough job.
Definitely.
And I'll tell you what, the parade committee from the Blue Water Festival, I believe it's Bob Courier this year's in charge of it, and I think that they deserve a real standing ovation for my behalf. I was watching them try and put everybody in line and try and get everybody coordinated and keep them their composure and ready to go, especially the young bands. They're the twirlers and the pipers and everybody. They were all antsy to get going at 5:30 this afternoon.
The Nora Grotto Group is the international float entry, which includes several members of the Master Mason-based organization. Its function is dentistry for handicapped children and cerebral palsy research. Right behind the Nora Grotto Group, we have the Main Street Dance Connection, a 40-person downtown Port Huron-based unit, and a pom-pom twirling team. They range in age from 3 to 20 years of age. And they're in purple and white. And look at the little one right in the middle of the whole group.
She's keeping good time, too.
Yes, she is. Dan, we were talking too about the international aspect of the International Day Parade through downtown Port Huron. Not only do we have groups that participate from over in Canada, I understand that we also have law enforcement officers that come over to lend a hand.
Yeah, both from the Sarnia Clearwater Police Department, and I saw a couple of different uniforms in there. I understand that they're from London. They came in from London Police Department this year. I saw Murray McMasters at he's the chief of the Sarnia Clearwater Police Department at the reviewing stand. Just a great turnout of help for Chief Corbett and Port Huron Police.
Does the parade itself present any particular problems to the Port Huron Police Department and St. Clair County Sheriff's Department?
You know, in the 26 years I've been a policeman, I don't recall the night of parade ever being a problem. People come to enjoy the parade, and usually as many people that are here, and you can see them from here to the Michigan National Bank building, Mike. They're really quite orderly and quite easy to get rid of when the parade is over. They seem to wait their turn and get their line in and go on down the road. We very seldom ever have a problem after parade night.
It's the Main Street Dance Connection, which is moving through our area right now. A total of 40 members, as we mentioned, in age from 3 to 20. And we got the youngest members moving by the cameras right now. A couple of them look a little pooped, but still maintaining their enthusiasm.
You know, that's part of the discipline that they go through probably, Mike, when they're in there learning their dancing, is to keep on going.
Next up, I think we have the Cooperative Extension Service 4-H youth programs. Yes, the Queen, Amy Hess, the King, Paul Hewlett. Reminding everyone of the St. Clair County 4-H and Youth Fair, which will be coming up in August. The 4-H Royal Court on the back of the convertible, provided by Blue Water Chrysler Dodge. By the way, I want to thank Acme Sign for providing the truck for us. That gives us this great vantage point of the International Day Parade. As we've mentioned a couple of times, we're at the northernmost point of the parade. It comes right at us. And as we have the musical group moving in front of us right now, the London Mocha Temple Trumpet Band, let's enjoy. The London Mocha Temple Trumpet Band from London, Ontario, featuring 20 band players and a color guard. The band performed in 17 parades in 1993. They're keeping busy.
Oh boy, that's more parades than I'm in, Mike.
Now here's a group that if they drove like this on a regular Friday night would be in trouble, but because it's the International Day Parade, they can get away with it. But I tell you what, before we talk about the cars, let's check in with Larry West again. Larry, he's corralling someone. I see you had the balloon person all set to go, but they took off. So we got the little cars, which is always one of the big favorites of the parade.
Oh.
It's the Lambton Shrine Club Motor Corps.
Thank goodness they weren't here last Friday night, Mike.
Everything seemed to go well, though. You mentioned the old car weekend at the parade last Friday night. Kind of interesting that we have two parades now.
Super. It was just a super, super night. Everybody well behaved.
It's fun looking at the old cars, too, isn't it?
Oh.
The Lambton Shrine Club Motor Corps, the lovable little cars driven by Shriners who parade for donations to support various children charitable functions throughout the United States and Canada. The Blue Water Festival has made a contribution to bring the Corps to the International Day Parade. Each car is individually owned and maintained and is transported to and from parades at the owner's expense. So these guys do it because they love it.
Yeah, they do. You know, I talked earlier about the kids getting antsy. These guys get antsy. When it's time to go in the parade, they're wondering why it hasn't started a half an hour early. But what great spirit and what great work they do for crippled children.
And definitely crowd pleasers. Thank you for joining us for the 1994 International Day Parade. I'm Mike Mullins, along with St. Clair County Sheriff Dan Lane, and Larry West is also with us, talking with those in the crowd. We'll be joining Larry again in just a couple minutes as we look at more of the Shrine members moving by in what would be a little more conventional vehicles. But all red, you notice that? The ones that are going by us right now?
Yeah.
Bright red. And all of these gentlemen who have joined us are from Ontario. And not your standard Volkswagen.
No,
going by
I'd say
either.
that. Look at that. 3-seater. Did you see that?
Uh-huh. And other the radio stations involved moving by us right now, those from WPHM and B96.9. What are they pulling?
It looks like personal watercraft. It looks like one of those wave runners.
And right behind the group from WPHM and B96.9, the Junior Red Cross. St. Clair County chapter, the American Red Cross, the float entry features a celebration to the youth groups who do volunteer work. On board is a wooden wishing well with the inscription, "Wishing you well." At the top it says, "Kids are special people." The group from the Red Cross. I understand Larry West does have somebody this time, so let's check back in with Larry West. Larry?
When I can talk. Hi, we're back in the streets, and as it should be, the streets are filled with kids today. I found 3 more friends willing to come on and talk to me. What's your name?
Caitlin.
Where are you from, Caitlin?
Port Huron.
My name's Jillian. I'm from Port Huron.
My name's Josh. I'm from Marine City.
Marine City, you come a long way. Did you paddle your boat up here? No? Everybody's enjoying the parade today? What's your favorite part?
Probably the horses.
You like the horses, did you? How about you?
I like the horses too.
Horses.
Horses. Everybody's a horse fan today. Did you see the sheriff?
Yeah, that was cool.
It was cool. Are your last name's Lane? No. Thanks for joining us. Go back and enjoy the parade with your family. We'll go back up to Mike in the booth now.
I think those were all relatives.
I don't think so.
South Park Advisory Council, Center for Human Resources, 16-foot long float depicting a celebration of unity with a heart in the center of the unit. The 1994 International Day Parade moving through downtown Port Huron. The South Park group are doing a dance for the crowd as they continue marching through downtown Port Huron. And a big hand from the crowd. Right behind the group from South Park, we've got the St. Clair County Library. This entry features banners, vehicles, and various volunteers showing some of the resources the library has to offer to St. Clair County's over 145,000 residents. And all the different areas where you will find the library. And I think, of course, all this is a gentle reminder that there is an election coming up on August 2nd.
Yeah.
The 1994 International Day Parade through downtown Port Huron. If you weren't with us right at the start, a total of 75 units, give or take 1 or 2. Some don't show up right at parade time. Others, once in a while, there could be a late entry. So we're right around 75 is the number we're working with tonight, involved with this year's International Day Parade through downtown Port Huron under ideal conditions.
Oh, great conditions, Mike.
The group going by us right now, the Lucky Charms, it's a Port Huron-based new dance and drill team made up of 30 youngsters aged 7 to 11. The Lucky Charms, I guess that's why they're in green and white.
Yeah, just going to say, that's the green and white, right, Mike?
Indeed. And right behind the green and white group, we've got the Blue Water Women's League's, one of the group's biggest fundraisers, of course, is the annual Tot Contest, which is held on during the sidewalk sale, during downtown Port Huron's Sidewalk Sale Day. The winners get a ride in the International Day Parade, and here they are right now, waving to the crowd, one even pointing to the camera up in the sky. The Tot Contest winners. And I apologize that I don't have the names, but they're definitely winners.
I can see why.
Yeah. Right behind our Tot Contest winners, we have another of the pipe bands. This is the City of Detroit Pipe Band. The award-winning pipe band won a U.S.-Canadian championship last year. The 16 or so members reside in Michigan and Southwest Ontario. The group was formerly known as the